there are certain Christmas facts and traditions we know without a doubt. Santa's suit is red, candy canes are striped, and stockings are hung by the chimney with care. The holiday season is brimming with cherished activities like cookie baking and tree decorating, yet many of us may not know their origins. These interesting Christmas facts reveal the stories behind our beloved customs and help us understand why we continue to celebrate them today. From the origins of beloved traditions like drinking eggnog and writing letters to Santa to the surprising history behind gift-giving practices, these facts can deepen our appreciation for the festivities. Whether you're looking to impress your friends with trivia or simply want to learn more about this magical season, you might just be surprised by what you find out. Bonus: for a fun group Christmas activity, use these fun facts as trivia to quiz your friends and family. Fruits were the first ornaments. In the late 17th century, people used fruits like apples, pears, and oranges to decorate Christmas trees. In fact, edible ornaments were so popular that many began to call Christmas trees sugar trees. Candy canes are shaped like shepherd's hooks. In 1670, a German choirmaster asked a local confectioner to shape the candy into its traditional form, resembling a shepherd's hook. In the Christmas story, shepherds travelled from far and wide to visit the infant Jesus. The symbolic candy cane helped keep his choir boys content during long practices. Spider webs in your tree are good luck. An old Ukrainian folk tale tells about a poor woman who was too poor to decorate her Christmas tree. As she slept, spiders wove her hundreds of intricate webs that served as beautiful ornaments. When Ukrainians find a spider web in their Christmas tree, they consider it good luck. Christmas trees take many years to reach a sellable height. The average Christmas tree is 6 to 7 feet tall, but it can take as many as 15 years to reach that height. So the next time you buy your year's tree, take a moment to appreciate nature's handiwork. Alabama was the first state to recognize Christmas. In 1836, Alabama became the first state to recognize Christmas as a state holiday, with Arkansas and Louisiana following suit. But it wasn't until 1870 that President Grant declared Christmas a national holiday. The first Christmas card was sent in 1843. The first Christmas card was created and sent by Sir Henry Cole, an English politician. The 3-panelled card was embossed with the message, "Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you." It was later printed and sold as the idea of the Christmas card took off. Teddy Roosevelt outlawed Christmas trees in the White House. It is rumoured that Teddy Roosevelt outlawed Christmas trees in the White House during his term, given that he was a staunch environmentalist. Instead, he celebrated the holiday with a church service and family meal. Japan's favourite holiday meal is fried chicken. While many of us associate holiday dinners with thoughts of ham and turkey, the Japanese are all about Kentucky Fried Chicken. In 1974, KFC aired a popular Kentucky for Christmas ad, which started the tradition. Fruitcake can last a lifetime. Fruitcake. You either love it or hate it. But did you know that when stored properly, it can last for years and sometimes indefinitely? The oldest fruitcake was 114 years old and had been passed down from generation to generation. Home Alone is the highest grossing holiday movie of all time, while White Christmas and Miracle on 24th Street might be the most popular Christmas movies. Home Alone holds the title as the highest grossing holiday film ever. Christmas wasn't always on December 25th. Although Christmas celebrates the birth of Christ, it doesn't actually mention December 25 anywhere in the Bible. In fact, some historians think Jesus was born in the spring, not the winter at all. Christmas on December 25th wasn't celebrated until about 336 AD. Christmas wasn't always on December 25th. Although Christmas celebrates the birth of Christ, it doesn't actually mention December 25 anywhere in the Bible. In fact, some historians think Jesus was born in the spring, not the winter at all. Christmas on December 25th wasn't celebrated until about 336 AD. Evergreens are an ancient tradition. The iconic Christmas tree has a lot of roots. forgive the pun. Ancient Egyptians used to mark the winter solstice by decorating their homes with green palms, while the Romans celebrated Saturnalia with evergreen boughs. These green plants signified that the spring would return with new life. The first Christmas trees, as we know them today, started in Germany in the 16th century. You can thank Prince Albert for your Christmas tree. Christmas trees have German roots, but they really took off in popularity thanks to Queen Victoria and her husband, German Prince Consort Albert. In 1848, they were sketched standing in front of their tree with their children by the Illustrated London News, which quickly made Christmas trees fashionable. St. Nick was more generous than jolly. The original Santa Claus was actually St. Nicholas, a Christian bishop in the 4th century. He didn't wear the red suit that's so famous today, but he did give all of his inheritance to the poor and needy. In Dutch, his name is Sinterklaas, which later morphed into Santa Claus. Coca-Cola played a part in Santa's image. Santa wasn't always the jolly man in red. Older depictions of Santa from the early 1900s depicted him more sternly, and there wasn't a standardized look for his appearance. The classic image of a happy and plump Santa that we all know today came in part from Coca-Cola ads, drawn in 1931 by illustrator Haden Sundblom. Hanging stockings started by accident. The historic St. Nicholas heard about the plight of a local man who did not have enough dowry money to marry off his 3 daughters. The generous St. Nick tossed some money down the chimney that landed in the ladies' stockings that were drying by the fire. After that, the tradition stuck. Rudolph was a marketing ploy. The beloved reindeer was created by a copywriter for the Montgomery Ward department store in 1939. He wrote Rudolph into a children's story that could be given out to promote the store. It was a huge hit, with more than 2.4 million copies distributed in its first year. In 1949, Gene Autry recorded the famous song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and in 1964 came the movie featuring the island of misfit toys. The 8 tiny reindeer have had lots of names. Rudolph was almost named Rollo or Reginald, and his crew also had lots of other names. They've previously been called Flossie, Glossy, Racer, Pacer, Scratcher, Feckless, Ready, Steady, and Fireball. Christmas wreaths are religious symbols. The custom of bringing evergreens into the home began in the 16th century among Northern and Eastern Europeans, primarily Germans, as a means of cleaning up the Christmas tree and making it more uniform. Instead of throwing out cut-off greens, people wove the excess into wreaths. However, the religious significance is that the circular shape and evergreen material of the wreath represent eternal life. The circle, which has no beginning or end, symbolizes the eternity of God, the immortality of the soul, and the everlasting life we find in Christ. Jingle Bells was originally a Thanksgiving song. Turns out, we first started dashing through the snow for an entirely different holiday. James Lord Pierpont wrote the song called One Horse Open Sleigh for his church's Thanksgiving concert in the mid-19th century. Then, in 1857, the song was re-released under the title We All Know and Love, and it's still among the most popular Christmas songs today. Astronauts broadcast Jingle Bells from Space 9 days before Christmas in 1965. Astronauts Wally Schirra and Tom Stafford aboard the Gemini 6 told Mission Control that they saw an unidentified flying object about to enter Earth's atmosphere, travelling in the polar orbit from north to south. Just as things got tense, they interrupted the broadcast with Jingle Bells, as Wally played a small harmonica accompanied by Tom shaking a handful of small sleigh bells. Silent Night is the most recorded song we all know. The same few handfuls of Christmas songs play at stores and on the radio in a loop all season long. But one of them has been adapted more than others. Silent Night is actually the most recorded Christmas song in history. It's had more than 733 different versions, copyrighted since 1978. Celebrating Christmas used to be illegal, From 1659 to 1681, anyone caught making merry in the colonies would face a fine for celebrating. The Massachusetts Bay Colony created the penalty for keeping Christmas. It was thought that such festivals as were superstitiously kept in other countries and were a great dishonour of God and offence of others. The penalty for breaking the law was 5 shillings. By the Revolutionary War, the day had so little significance that Congress even held their first session on December 25th, 1789. Christmas wasn't even proclaimed a federal holiday for almost another century, proving that the Grinch's attitude toward the holiday was alive and well long before he was. It's rumoured that eggnog originated in medieval Britain. Although there's no official confirmation on who invented eggnog, most historians agree that eggnog originated in medieval Britain. Eggnog was an upper-class luxury, since they were the only ones who had access to the milk, sherry and eggs required to create the original version. Monks in the Middle Ages added figs and eggs and called the drink posset, while the wealthy kept with the simple recipe and used it for toasts or big events. Research shows that eggnog most likely became associated with the holidays due to a lack of refrigeration. It became a drink for the more common man in America because of the larger farming opportunities and more access to cows and chickens. Christmas decorating sends nearly 15,000 people to the ER. If you've ever watched Clark Griswold decorate his house in Christmas Vacation, this stat likely doesn't shock you. In fact, the Consumer Product Safety Commission's most recent news release estimates that 14,700 people visit hospital emergency rooms each November and December from holiday-related decorating accidents, which is about 240 injuries per day. The most common accidents involve falling, lacerations, and back strains. Santa has his own Canadian postal code. Every year, letters to Santa Claus flood post offices across the world. Cementing their reputation as some of the nicest people ever, some big-hearted Canadian post office workers started writing back. As the program took off, they set up a special postal code for Santa as part of a Santa letter writing program initiative. Show H, O Ho O. Dry Christmas trees spark more than joy. Neglected, dried out Christmas trees spark about 260 fires in the United States each year, resulting in an average of 12 deaths, 24 injuries, and $16.4 million in property damage, according to the Electrical Safety Foundation. An additional 150 fires are started because of holiday lights and other decorative lighting, resulting in an average of 8 deaths, 16 injuries, and $8.9 million in property damage per year. Not only will an errant spark ruin your holiday, it can put both residents and responding firefighters in danger. The term Xmas dates back to the 1500s. Contrary to popular belief, Xmas is not a trendy attempt to take Christ out of Christmas. Christianity was spelled Janity as far back as 1100. X or Chi is the Greek first letter of Christ, so X. And back in the 4th century, Constantine the Great often referenced the shorthand version. Some say it was as early as 1021 that the abbreviation Xmas was used to reference the holiday, which was later shortened to Xmas.